So we're back at the bench. Not much frame building going on again. We're still dealing with our bottom brackets and idler system, but we're getting there. We're starting to make progress. Managed to get a sprocket, so I'll run you through where I'm at the moment. So I have run into a bit of a problem with spindle length. It turned out that the spindle was standard BMX size, too short for what I wanted. I couldn't go any narrower with the bottom bracket cups. Got the bearings for those. Made a slight mishap. I bored one of the bottom bracket cups out oversize. It's not a problem. I can make these easily now. I've got it down. Plenty of bar stock here. So yeah, I had to do a little bit of sawing. I wouldn't have done it if these were profile racing. I probably would have just started again with the whole bottom bracket business. But anyway, we had to take a hacksaw to this. I'll show you where we're at. Obviously, you've seen the crankset. That's the sprocket. Shadow Conspiracy Cranium. I mean, you know, that's in fitting with the whole pirate thing, isn't it? So we've got that. Managed to sort out the chain line. I know my width and my dimensions now for the idler. So basically, yeah, there was not enough. If you can look on the clamp, the spindle was only coming up to like there on the pinch bolt. Not good. You know, you want the splines engaged as much as possible in here. Like they only go up to there anyway. Whoops. But you know, you want full engagement of the spline just for strength, right? So yeah, it was a bit of fun with a hacksaw, but honestly, it's fine. You know, it's gonna be right now because the spindle has, like, you know, the splines got full engagement into the cranks. There's a sprocket. It's great, that, isn't it? 28 tough, I think. Anyway, so you can see done a bad job. You know, it's nice and straight. I had to take some off there, off the boss for the chainring mount. I had to take that off. Filed it flat. It's all straight. It's perfect. So happy with that. Bottom bracket. You can see bearings just popped out. That's no good. This side, perfect. Slightly too tight. It's great though. I mean, you know, everything's aligned. There's no like tight spots when she turns. Got to make a new one of these. So I got another paperweight. But that's not a problem. That's the bearings. 7mm wide. Couldn't get them any other size really. These came from China, to be honest. Yeah, so they are what they are. This one pressed in lovely. That's great. Nice and smooth. So yeah, you can see where this has been bored out now. It's, you know, dimensionally, depth was perfect. I got some bore gauges. which are these. They, springy boys. And then you just tighten that, and that'll give you your dimension. I'm not sure whether I'd knocked it or maybe loosened it perhaps slightly. But anyway, that's oversize, bearings loose. There's nothing I can do with that, so I'll just make another one. They're easy enough to make now. Got it down. Next thing, because I've managed to get the chain line sorted, I know what width this has to be. I did pop a mark on it somewhere. It's going to be cut off around here. So that's going to be the length. I was pretty good in estimating the length of the torque tube, which is going to accept. Obviously, it's going to have that running through it on bearings. These are the bearings that will be pressed in each end. The width of this is pretty much spot on. I gotta take perhaps a mil off this end, or that end. This end now. I got some rigidity issues with the lathe at the moment. The ways are a little bit loose, so I got to adjust that. It's not lending itself to really nice cuts, getting a bit of chatter, but the depth of cut on this, it's really long. I've only got a small Chinese mini lathe. They're not known for their rigidity, but bored it out nice. I'm not looking for a perfect finish in there. It's not doing anything. I'm taking it out as much as I can. Obviously, it's got to be wider than the inner race, because you can't have that rubbing against anything. And I'm, like I said before, I'm not chasing weight, but it would be nice if I could get this down. Take a fair bit of meat out of there, save a bit of weight. So that's where we're at. So this side's finished. All I need to do now for this is get it back in the lathe, chuck it up, and then it's going to have to be clocked with a dial gauge to ensure that the bearing recess is concentric with this, because if it's not, the bearings will run slightly out of line, and I'm going to get binding, which isn't going to be good, because obviously this is the drive system. It's not going to be pedal for miles and miles, but any tight spots, it's not going to be nice to pedal, is it? So yeah, I'm going to have to take my time finishing this, making sure that this side is concentric with this side. But that's not a problem. We've got a dial gauge. I can dial it in. Yeah, so we are getting there. When I cut this, obviously that'll be gone, won't it? So I'm going to have to get out the slot in lever again and recut splines down here. But again, that's the tooling for that, and the the setup, it exists now. So when it comes to doing this job, it's not going to take long. Same as with the bottom bracket cups. All right, I was cutting the threads is like a little bit of a pain. I've still got the change gears on the lathe ready for cutting the 24 TPI thread, so I'm going to change those. It's just going to be a case of cutting a piece of stock, getting it threaded, making sure I don't go oversized on this one. But that one's in. Weird looking bearings. They got like a almost translucent brown silicone seal. I thought that they were like the ones I ordered were 2RS. 2 rubber seal, isn't it? So this is what came in the end. I'm not sure what TN means. Anyone knows? Let me know. I could probably just go on Google and find out in it, but not sure what TN means. But it's a 19307, 7 being 7mm wide. Yeah, so strange. And it was only one seal in these. No seal on the back side, but managed to get like plenty of grease in the back. If they're no good, you know, I can just swap them out. I'll get something else. But yeah, that's where we're at. Thank you if you're watching. Be great if you could like share this around to anyone who might be interested. The swing arm material, it looks like I've managed to find some. It's with a company called Seaway. Slightly bigger than I was expecting, or slightly bigger than what I was hoping for. I think it's going to be 48, or was it 45 by 28? A little bit bigger than I wanted. It's basically tandem bike down tubes, I believe, or bottom tubes. 1.5mm wall diameter, which is exactly what I was going to use if I was using T45. 680mm length, which is pretty close, so I can't really make any mistakes cutting those. So hopefully this will get finished. And I think once this is finished and I've cut myself a new bottom bracket cup, we are on our way to maybe even starting to tack the main triangle, the front triangle. Yeah, that'll be soon. Swing arm, probably, yeah, I'm probably going to use the jig that I'm using for the main triangle and change that, modify it. I think that was the plan all along anyway, to use the aluminium extrusion that I'm using for the frame jig and use that as a swing arm jig, if that makes any sense. So it'll be, the swing arm will be made separate. So that's the plan. We get in somewhere. Wasn't expecting to have to hack these, but I think I did a pretty good job. Come out quite nice. So there. Thanks for watching.